Feel that? That's the problem.
Oh!
Bork.
Is this it?
There you go.
Oh man.
Is this the hidden strat that we've been waiting from the regular season?
One life, one goal, and one chance to make it even further in the brackets. Welcome to Land of Dawn. Game number 1, it is Geek Fam against FNATIC ONIC. Talk to me about the draft, Arashi.
A surprising turn of events. We see Vincent finally on a fighter. That's great news for Geek Fam.
Amazing.
On top of that though, they got the Yves, high ground mage for a boy. That's great. They got the Mathilda for Beloyski. They have a very solid draft right here. Even Chadera with a bit of a signature pick on the Moskov too. They have a great balance here in whatever they want to do. So they can play it safe, they can play it aggressive if they want to. The only real concern is that when FNATIC ONIC get some power spikes and go for those early game pickoffs. But aside from that, if Geek Fam can kind of play it safe, they can make sure that Beloyski can save anyone getting jumped on. This could be a pretty good game for Geek Fam. If you take a look at the emblems here by Indiho, Wilderness Blessings for the mid lane and the roam, it's all about moving around, man. It's about clearing and then going for those ganks. Weapon Mastery for CW, gonna take a bit longer to ramp up. Whereas Chadera going with the Master Assassin wants to get some more pressure, some more fire in that lane, but look at Beloyski.
Oh, great stun over. Oh, with a blaze of the immortal form. That's first blood over to Kai.
That damage coming in from the Suyo. Is Suyo that strong in that early game, Arashi?
I mean, the Suyo is absolutely amazing. Look at that damage!
Oh boy, oh, that's an iron hook. Oh boy, flicker. No lethal ignition, luckily, to take him down there, but that's a wasted flicker. Already, so much pressure by the Suyo.
Oh man, no way for Geek Fam to kind of match that kind of burst damage in the early game. You look at their composition, it's a lot of continuous damage. The Yves spamming out spells, Beloyski spamming out wisps as well, as Vincent's just spraying with the fire. Not a lot of burst damage. So when Kyrie wants to go in and just go for the 1v1 trade in damage, he wins every single time. You gotta wait a bit longer here before they can kind of match up. But this is the Turtle with the level 4 power spikes. In Geek Fam, in theory, have a lot of tools to guarantee that they can go for this 50-50.
Yeah, if you talk about the setup, Geek Fam has it all. They have the zoning tools, they have the jump tools to really just rile FNATIC ONIC, the Turtle scenarios. But for now, it's just Rez trying to tank up the Turtle. But in bottom lane,
Bloody Hunt, Nibiru's Passion, CW. Finding the kill, now Rez all alone, isolated. After the Glorious Pathway and Revitalize should be able to escape here as the chase won't be continued. Geek Fam will secure the neutral objective, but it does seem like for FNATIC ONIC, they don't care about the neutral objective. They'll go straight for the purple buff. A hook missing there from Keyboy. Good yin-yang reaction. Oh, we're gonna be caught in Circling Eagle, now burned down to the ground by Vincent on the X-Borg, but he will lose the purple buff. Heck, he'll lose everything in the bottom side jungle.
Wow, highway robbery from Kyrie right there. FNATIC ONIC, understanding they don't really have the same kind of impact level 4, they just give up the neutral objective and go straight for the change, the trade on the other side of the map, and the purple buff invade. Looking at the talent predictions here by the new application GoPay.
I mean, sure.
Same old story.
It's always going to be classic Papulong.
PP!
Only him with the Geek Fam donning that banner, but now Rez up top. Valdora and Vincent working in tandem to just win out the pressure. But Keyboy always on the move, always on the hunt. And Kyrie, in this moment in time, I feel like he is already strong enough to just get the fight. The hook misses towards a boy.
Diversion. Ooh, they might not need the hook. A boy reads it out. Now Beloyski with the Circling Eagle and the real world manipulation. Kyrie to be able to dish out some damage, but that's going to be Keyboy locked down. Chadera with the SOD. Now the last insanity. It won't really connect onto anyone. Say goodbye to the Faraga armor. That's a shot down. A boy trying to survive. Kyrie goes in. A boy with a flicker out. Beltora walking forward. Unfortunately, unable to get the demonic force proc on anyone.
No, it is a very, very close trade. The RWM opened up. Beloyski still able to even survive that long. A boy almost a victim. But again, they play chess here.
It's a cooldown shoes for Kyrie as well. He's going all out here to get as much spam damage out as possible. Man, in the early game though, you can see the pressure through for FNATIC ONIC, but Geek Fam, by abusing the Circling Eagle's crowd control immunity there, you saw Beloyski able to kind of surprisingly be durable, be hard to catch there, even though against a Franco, that's usually a scary proposition, especially with the Franco in the hands of Keyboy. This is not just a random roamer here, one of the best in Indonesia.
Yeah, Turtle now again, just being ping-ponged around, and Kyrie has piled towards that diversion from the backside. They can go for a cage.
Unfortunate, unable to connect there. In front of pursuit from Valdora. Now the retreat battle, it's Kai who wins it out. Rest still in the midst of it all. Tanking a whole lot of the damage. Now onto Vincent he goes. A circling eagle over. Bloody Hunt locks Veldora down. But he has the Infernal Pursuit and the guiding wind. No, it's not enough. He gets hooked back right into the battlefield and gunned down by Mr. CW. But Chidera will stay busy in the bottom lane. He will get a tier 1.
Trades across the map. Turtle, a kill. And down bottom, Chidera is able to at least knock down the tier 1 turret. The pressure, unstoppable. Beloyski dancing with the devil.
Not gonna dance that long, but SOD from Chidera finds Sans with the Spear of Misery, just pins him down on that wall.
The passive save gold lane are finding moments of his own right here. This is a high-octane game that we're not expecting from Geek fam. Look at Vincent though, 1v2.
Gee,
Ooh.
W walking up already with the Renners. Pops the Faraga armor there from Vincent, and he's just everywhere now. Looking to back up the skirmishes. But now FNATIC ONIC, they are indeed, the ones grabbing the tempo, but slowly but surely, Geek fam's always very quick on the response. You can take a look at how they are actively pouncing on every potential chance to jump the hook. Oh, Circling Eagle.
good cancel with the Circling Eagle. Veldora, unfortunately, again, just barely out of range.
It's just not enough. And now for both teams, it's just waiting around, finding the right moment here to really strike. Kiwi definitely has the advantage though. Beloyski trying his best to kind of find info, but realistically, the only person that can kind of move forward and not get bursted down immediately is Vincent. Veldora is running the flicker, mind you, so he can make more plays happen, but he's no longer as durable, especially against the full burst of the Matrix. And look at FNATIC ONIC's move.
Beloyski walking forward very far away. Rez isolated, gets a stun down with the Glorious Pathway. A boy will be able to lock him down! Keyboy finding the angle, Sans getting the yin-yang reaction! And Calvin Renata just taking all of the kills!
Bennett's rage, but in a much more traditional way. Triple kill, the AO is disgusting!
Keyboy with an iron hook to catch a boy. That's 8-3. Only Mr. Vincent is left alive. What is he gonna do against the horse?
This death ball isn't stopping anytime soon. Vincent is stuck in a rock in a hard place. He is isolated, but backup will come from up top.
Great move for FNATIC ONIC, man. They know that they don't really have the advantage when it comes to the neutral objectives. So why fight at the neutral objectives? Keep going for the pressure when it's not up just yet. Catch him off guard with the iron hooks. This is exactly how you're supposed to beat this kind of composition. And look at Beloyski, man. Trying to find info, but it's a risky situation with Keyboy. Zoning everyone away. That's a free turtle for FNATIC ONIC.
Keyboy is just up there, asserting his dominance. Not actively seeking for a hook. It's much more of a zone out play coming in from Keyboy as Rez sparkers into Vincent. They're trying to invade this jungle, and Vincent does not have the comfort of his own home. It's just stolen away from ONIC, or rather FNATIC ONIC this time around. Rez looking to just pop the Glorious Pathway.
Oh, he just doesn't care. Kyrie from the side, gets the arrows out, Chidera low! Still able to escape with the help of the guiding wind, but my God, that's a lot of damage. Diversion for the flanks. Beloyski doesn't read it out. Costing the guiding wind. That's a stun over. Yin-yang reaction with the real world manipulation, locking him down as well. Rez isolated, has a vitalize. Last Insanity will blow him up. That's a sod that will not connect out to CW, but it's a free tier 2 up top for FNATIC ONIC.
You can take a look at how the damage coming in from Loyi is just so disgusting. How does Geek fam deal with it?
Almost. I mean, Geek fam, they just have to make sure they don't clump up. Keyboy taking a lot of damage with Vincent.
Oh, CW with the flicker forward and he gets the kill! No punishment! Geek fam can't do nothing against CW.
Get out of my jungle, he says. He flickers forward with so much bravery and courage. The audacity to do that.
It's definitely a lot of aggression coming in from FNATIC ONIC. Looking at the items though, even with the Flask of the Oasis here, FNATIC ONIC, they're able to get a lot of value, a lot of moments here. Geek fam, they gotta really respect the composition. They're trying to group up together to avoid getting picked off, but because of that, they're getting comboed by the low Yi. They have to pick their poison and double down on it. And especially when the Iron Hook is down like this, they have to try and find ways to capitalize. Right now, they're waiting for the right moment to try and play around the neutral objective. This is the Lord after all. This is where the pressure is a lot higher on FNATIC ONIC to try and play that Lord dance that Geek fam are well known to do many times before, but with 5 seconds to go, with the lanes not really set up for Geek fam's success right here, it's looking quite dangerous.
I like that point you made, Arashi. The fact that this draft coming from FNATIC ONIC is kind of like a contradictive draft for Geek fam to deal with. In one way, you don't want to clump up, but you have Loyi over there.
Oh wait, what Faraga armor? Valorsky with the guiding wind into his demise. CW just snipes him down! Right with the glorious pathway, setting him up. Chidera caught him into the diversion. Spear misery diversion from Sans. T-Boy gets a bloody hunt. Veldora gets gunned down again. FNATIC ONIC are stomping through Geek Fam.
They're not stopping anytime soon. A boy, the hook misses and a boy goes away scot-free. But that is damage done. And that is so much damage from FNATIC ONIC.
The decisiveness for FNATIC ONIC to keep moving forward there is what's allowing them so much success. You can say it's because they're snowballing. It's because they've had better setup before the neutral objective. But the fact is, every single time they're moving forward, Geek Fam with this competition can't stand there. They have to just move backwards again and again. And when they do, now they have to consider the possibility of a diversion behind them once more. All of these angles just cut off for Geek Fam by FNATIC ONIC.
Yeah, you don't want to clump up, but there's this Loi, always looking to just exert the damage. And Sans is finally back on track. We haven't seen much of him in the regular season. He has been shrouded behind the shadows of other young blood mid laners, but now he's here. He wants to play and he wants to go to M6, even though it's still far-fetched.
Oh, the reaction finding too. Look at the snipe. Oh boy, almost getting taken out of the board there. Vincent and Chidera should still be able to clear out this Lord. Rez taken to a quarter, but has so much regen in his kit. No base turret taken down. Still good high ground defense from Geek Fam. Hamayev, X-Korg, and the Moscow. Seems though CW is still putting out as much pressure as he can. Always putting the better damage on the turrets.
Yeah, they have tools to really defend their base. Have the rainbow. They also have Moscow way clear. Then Vincent can just come in and come out with the Faraga armor. So FNATIC ONIC, they have to play it slow. They have to play it in a much more disciplined approach.
Right now, though, for Geek Fam, Chidera has reached the 3-item power spike, so there's that to consider for FNATIC ONIC, but they keep going here.
Last Insanity with the real inflation there. It's all of them pulled in. The big combo. CW forced to use it with the nature. Pops in the bench. Door with the chase. S14 Chidera going all the way back onto Kyrie, pinning him down for Baloy to get a double. In an instance, it's a 4-0 for Geek Fam.
In a blink of an eye, FNATIC ONIC evaporate in the middle of the fight. Geek Fam, the King Slayers, they pound forwards. It's just Sans having to defend this.
1v5. We've seen this before, haven't we? But now against a full team. Sans do another. Sans finding two to defend the game as usual in Sans fashion.
Wow. Aggressive moves for Geek Fam there to somehow try and go for the end. That was as desperate move as possible, but FNATIC ONIC, they have recovered. Now they're back on the map. The goal difference, though, has shrunk down from 10,000 to only 3,000. That's an SOD landing, but Chidera. No way.
Okay.
Not possible.
Don't press. Not for a second, Matt was in the game.
For a second right there. But again, look at the potential for Geek Fam once they have their backs against the wall, right? In a way, they're in a desperate situation, but in a way, their backline is quite safe as well. That's a Stallium scythe picked up by Baloysky there. He is not going for any tankiness whatsoever. More damage, more utility technically. But again, if their backline can just reliably put out damage without being too concerned about the Franco, without being too concerned about the Suyo, or even the diversion on the backline, they can just keep outputting the damage. And they have reached a threshold at this point that they can out-damage the front to back, but they have to watch out for the pesky moves, the maneuvers here of FNATIC ONIC.
Vincent is scaled. Take a look at the damage. He's already able to slowly but surely deal with the frontliners of FNATIC ONIC. Valoisky with the guiding wind. The hold over, Infernal Pursuit not used up just yet. The Spear of Misery will pin him down, but he'll just bait out the Revitalize. Rez all alone, real world manipulation, and Vincent just takes him out with the fire.
No, it's very easy for them now to just shred down a Rez. They have the damage, they're scaling with their items, and this now looks kind of scary for FNATIC ONIC. The Eve is going to be massive in these team fights, just poking down Rez, looking to bait out the Glorious Pathway and then go back. It's just a bait and switch at this point for Geek Fam. And for Veldora, he will be the second in line to just jump into the backline of FNATIC ONIC. Look at how zoned out they are from the pit. And Kyrie is looking for a flank angle.
They're gonna go for it. Let's see what they do. Yang reaction over towards the boy, so they're able to escape. He goes back to the Nibiru in time. Geek Fam, the diversion. They're not gonna know what hit him. Sans in the back, going for a boy, going for the kill. A boy taken out. Vincent chased down by Kyrie on the Suyo. Another 4, a stun missing, and FNATIC ONIC will have to back away for now. They'll have another wave in the mid lane to try to end the game.
It's just Vincent having to stare at the deadly corpses of his teammates. FNATIC ONIC, they want to reclaim their throne. They look to set their sights on the crystal. It's just Vincent having to hold this by himself.
1v5, Blast Insanity. Can he get the retribution? He bought him in so much time. He will finally be taken down. Chidera's going to be up again. He bought enough time with the diversion coming down though from FNATIC ONIC.
Oh!
He's going to go straight for the Lord.
They peace out right out of there. Immediately to the Lord. Geek fam trying to find a way to capitalize again on the over-aggression of FNATIC ONIC, but it won't be allowed at all. The goal difference now back to 7,000. FNATIC ONIC, after the minor setback, it was a major setback, but they made it look like a minor setback in the grand scheme of things. Now with the Lord at their backs, once again, their task is to crack open the base. This is Geek fam, under the shot calling of Beloyski. They've been able to fend off a lot of different kinds of attempts to crack open the base, but now against FNATIC ONIC, there's just so many variables. Can they do it yet again?
Great wave manipulation from the side of Geek fam. Keyboy trying to go for a cheeky iron hook. There's one minion that wasn't cleared out though. Now FNATIC ONIC make their charge into the base. Kairu the snipe over to the Faraga armor. This time Vincent has the immortality. Lord of the mid lane dealt with. Now Veldora will be caught. Still having the help of the guiding wind. Vincent still dealing with the Lord. Lord has been dealt with. Many waves coming down. The base wide open. The real rebel blade will so CWS. Kyrie will be isolated, but will still be able to blink out to safety. A boy picking up one. Cody into the back. CW going to be compromised. CW's pinned down by the Spirit of Misery as he goes in for the win of nature. But CW gets the Bennett down onto Chidera with a flicker. This is a risky play, Chidera. Now with a blink again. Almost getting the massive play to turn the game around. But we have ourselves a game, folks. 2 for 1.
This is still game number 1. Sheesh. So high-paced and Geek fam. They're still able to hold the line. FNATIC ONIC, it seems like they're stuck in a cul-de-sac, trying to push into the base of Geek fam. What's the main problem, Arashi?
It's the lack of range, technically, and the way that they were operating, they go for pickoffs. But the fact that Beloyski has been able to save whoever's getting jumped on again and again. Veldora got bloody hunted, and he was fristed down by the Bennett's rage. But then Beloyski comes in and saves him, right? With all the resources being spent to try and get Veldora out of the game, and he survived, right? He comes back in, along with all the AoE coming in from a boy, from Chidera. They just have to make sure that the pickup attempt actually lands. And the thing is, Beloyski is so good at foreseeing how these fights are going to go and just saving the right spell for the right moment. Again and again here, he's able to deny FNATIC ONIC's play with a Circling Eagle just a couple of fights earlier, and even with the guiding winds at the right exact moment. That's what they have to try and deal with here. FNATIC ONIC have to find a way to not fight Geek fam front to back. In theory, it should be right here when they're playing against the Lord in the Lord dances. If they can find a fight against Geek fam here outside, when they can use a flank maneuver, when they can go for a diversion play, that could be their win condition. But I don't think Geek fam will bite. They are known as one of the more patient teams in MPL ID.
It's far easier for FNATIC ONIC to maneuver back when Geek fam is coming towards them because they have so much control with the Luoyi, and then you have Rez. Could pop that pathway defensively. But then so far, Geek fam, they have been very, very much defensive. They have been very, very patient on waiting for FNATIC ONIC to pull the trigger.
Let's see.
And it's going to be an important Lord for them. Geek fam, will they defend or will they catch the bait?
Well, FNATIC ONIC are first on to the Lord. They will reset. They will give them time. Moskov in the bottom lane still clearing out the wave, so this is great setup for FNATIC ONIC.
Yeah, this is, you know, the good opportunity that Geek fam has. They have the global presence, but look at this hook!
Over to Veldora. Circling Eagle trying to cancel it. Veldora gets deleted before he can even do anything. Now do they fight? Real Rebel Blade catching Sans. Oh, Cody not connecting. Sans very low. Pops it to conceal from Keyboy. Trying to survive. Beloyski buying a little bit more time, trying to get an angle of attack. The minions. But take a look at the minion waves in the mid lane, crashing down into the base. A big forced error from the side of FNATIC ONIC into Geek fam, but they have minion waves spawning in again. Diversion to bring Sans back into the Lord pits.
FNATIC ONIC, they have so much prio up top and mid, and Rez will open up the pathway.
Kyrie with the stun, a boy getting the dash. Now it's going to be Vincent, who's going to be caught in the midst of it all. Rez bursts it down, has the winner crown. That's going to be his passion, cancelled out by Beloyski. Kyrie in the back, going for a boy who has the flicker. Vincent still somehow surviving. Will lose his immortality though. Shot down by Kyrie in the arrow of the immortal form.
Oh man, a massive back and forth right here. Both teams swapping the items out as well. Veldora now with the Winter Crown. Rez though is way too low. He's sticking around knowing how important this Lord is, but Geek fam, they're still here to fight. They want to make sure they do get the moment they require.
SOD into the front. Circling Eagle, 2-man. They need to go for a big fight here. Rez, can he survive?
Diversion.
1 HP gets out with the diversion. No! What? No, that was... The diversion was in place? Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Interesting result right there.
Game of
But
inches.
FNATIC ONIC, unfazed, man. Low HP bars, ultimates down, it doesn't matter. They have confidence in their execution. Chidera picks up the rose gold right there, rounding out the full 6-item inventory slot. This might be the final fight right here. If one team comes out on top dominantly, let's say with a wipeout, this could be the final fight for either team.
Now, marching towards the base, eyeing the crystal, and the Lord this time will accompany them. Geek fam, they have to make yet another defense.
That's with the last insanity. Real relation used up as well. CW zoned away by Veldora. Oh! He will lose his slot to Sans with the Yang reaction. Chidera getting the pin down onto 2 members. The base is open. Sans wants to go for it. Lord taking very low. That's a stun over from Kai, and FNATIC ONIC gets it done in game number 1 after a back and forth.
Geek fam made it hard, and FNATIC ONIC still, they remain supreme in game number 1. That was so close. And Geek fam, their base rock solid for 2 or 3 pushes coming from FNATIC ONIC.